The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Lucky 56. All right, now look at 56.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now look at 56. Lucky 56.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And now running right through it. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And they'll go on the ground. Oh, now he bowls him over. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. 54 yards. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. No problem there on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. Steps away to his left. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Now Bortles. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. To throw, it's Bortles. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Lucy.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. Dancing to his left. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now they've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on third and goal? They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. No gain on the play, and what to do now on fourth and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And here a juke. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To throw on second down, here's White. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. He's got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 46 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Got some real estate inside the 30 and all the way down to the 25-yard line. Second catch of this AFC title game, but he's got a first down.
But that's pretty much how they teach as a DB. Hit it and have some force with it. Yet he still caught the football and got the yardage he needed.
A little deflating?
Very much so.
Defensively?
Yeah, because you're trying to police up that area, and you don't want them to come in there, and you're hoping some good hard tackles will keep them out of there. In this case, he just said it, he just shrugged it off and went ahead and got what he needed.
Into the red zone, it's Bortles. Buying time to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official...
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. The Bengals getting set to go. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. White on second down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught at the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. The extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 8. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Throwing now is Bortles. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Carl Lawson coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Looking deep downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
All right, I need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Over! Detroit!
On 1st down, it's White. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
To throw on 2nd down, White. Got a man on the right sideline. That's Bird. Cincinnati score as his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch, and it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jaguars are back within a score. So now Bortles will bring the Jags up to go for 2.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. The extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They begin with a run by Fournette. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help.
And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play. Bortles to Westbrook. 46 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Bortles will try again on 2nd down. And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A gain of 32 that time. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's a give to Fournette. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more of the AFC Championship game after this. They come out here in the eye. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. It's the fullback punching it in from a yard away. And the Jaguars get a score closer. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
He's going to rifle, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there, saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. And before the snap here, we've got a timeout by the offense. It's their first of this first half, and they'll get together and talk this one over. Now the extra point. Point after, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And some space here.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Hank.
On first down, Bortles. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now Bortles, flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let him.
And how about this, a fake? But he will not make the first down marker, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. Out of the gun, it's White. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. White to throw again. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. Two incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on third and goal here. From the shotgun, here's White. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And his kick is indeed good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Bortles in the offense remains put on the field. They're going to go for it on fourth. They do go for it. It's Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half.
Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. Open space inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
White looks to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Green 80. Green 80.
A handoff to Fournette. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
Green 80. Green 80.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to loft one. This is intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Check 4.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Shifts by him. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 30. 10, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there, taking it in, and the Bengals have got it on cruise control. Well, they've been part of the cream of the crop in the AFC all season. It's becoming more and more evident that they're going to get a shot to play for that Super Bowl title.
The momentum has been building, and you mentioned how well they've played throughout the season. It's all come together for them, and they're really laser-focused on being that team to represent in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they have been dominant in this one. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And now running right through it. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Again, it's Fournette. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the gun, it's Bortles. He's going to air one out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And they'll run it here. And he's got room. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A big play there. 83 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They find some open field here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 34 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Hey, spread right, spread right, spread.
Bortles now on first down. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. DJ Chark, 37 yards. And the Jaguars able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability. Shotgun now for Bortles. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. It's accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick two, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Now they try the right side here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Right. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Detroit! Detroit! No. Check. Patriot! Patriot! Watch twist! Check.
Now White throwing on 3rd and long. Hey, right on cue. They set up the screen and complete it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Well, Charles, you said just a bit ago their aggression might get to them, set up the screen. It could work, and it did.
It certainly did, and you have to give the offense coordinator a ton of credit for being able to see it, anticipate it, and get right to the call.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Watch it now, Barney! No. Check. Patriot!
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And it's a 2nd down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set.
Hey, we got four down.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
In my humble estimation, terrific work there defensively. Running back's trying to get wide, get to the sideline, and they beat him to the spot, forced him out of bounds, pretty close to the line of scrimmage.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on fourth down. White now. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to fire one deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that.
Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. So first and 10 now from the 30. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They'll go again with Bell. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now the Bengals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. To throw is White, operating from the gun. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Time for a break. Back to wrap up the AFC Championship game after this. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, they weren't messing around. First and goal, they don't do anything fancy. They just go to the fullback right away.
I like how you phrase that because oftentimes they come back to the fullback when it's late in the down and distance count, right? In this case, first down, let's go get it right now.
And he got it. 6 points on the board. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
You're going to forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Bortles going to try and throw on third down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. Running left, it's Fournette. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Bortles going to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Hey, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I'll bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. Forced out to his left. He's going to let it fly. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now in desperation, and that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
11B.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game.